it could be heard from afar. You're howling. You are the same as me. With you, everything is better. We'll start running toward the future. Hello, and welcome back. Recently, or about a month ago, Anteam released 2 new music videos for their song War Cry and Dropkick. And while there's no narrative that runs in these music videos, they still have a part to play in their story. So what parts do they play? The end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. Or perhaps it's more fitting to say the end of one story and the beginning of another. In the past, Anteam's concert trailers would represent 2 timelines we can see in their title track MVs. But this time, the concepts are separated between the 2 music videos. As you may have guessed, we can see Wild in Anteam's War Cry and Starlight in Dropkick. So with that, let's start with the end. Anteam's comeback MV is exactly as it seems, a powerful war cry. The boys express their desperation and drive to break out into the world and move towards the future together. War Cry begins with K taking on the mantle of Alpha and finally accepting his role. We then see him call on the other werewolves, as if preparing for battle. It's here that we're introduced to the villains of their story, the red-hooded vampires. These villains can be seen in the sharp coldness of the ice that chokes them, the red-hooded woman who sits on a telephone pole, much like what we've seen in the webtoon, and by the bats that they become in the video. They chase after the boys, and the song paints a picture of what then occurs. Ring the alarm. Can you hear my sound? Twilight's prelude, piercing the silence. Release a breath out loud, the vision-stealing blur. Come out, instinct in my blood. On the far side of that moon, I scream, kick the ground and run forth. Breaking free now, I dive into the world. The boys finally break out of their skin and transform into the powerful werewolves hidden within, a transformation that had long been awaiting them since under the skin. While we don't clearly see the outcome of the battle between the vampires and werewolves in the music video, the strength that the wolves showcase in the MV, the disappearance of the bats, and the victory stance they take at the end seem to say that they've already won. With our werewolves free to be who they are, they run out into the world, confidently declaring their identity. And as the story ends, they grab our hands and pull us into a brighter future. Some cool connections we can see between their concept trailer Wild and War Cry is the declaration, "We are the kings." We see this declaration throughout the music video as the werewolves show off their power. And of course, in the concept trailer, the werewolf theme can be seen throughout the entirety of the video, with the words that spread throughout the school and the werewolf mask the boys wear in parts of it. With the story now complete, we finally move towards the future, or now, with Dropkick. Dropkick begins with our 9 werewolves huddled together in what looks to be their nightball uniforms that they're known to wear in their present story. With a chant, Kay leads them into a large stadium and what we assume is a big game. Other than the setting, this MV isn't meant to tell us any lore, but is instead meant to link to their story and share with us the dreams they have for our future. I ran, only looking straight ahead, as if breaking free from the darkness. "You're not alone," I heard. Your voice was right beside me. It all starts from here. The hope you gave me, the world we connect, I won't leave you standing by yourself. With you, everything is better. We'll start running towards the future. The brand new story. After facing many adversities and finally coming together as one, they met with us, the fans, and became we. Now, we move together towards the future, a new journey, in hopes that one day, we'll come together and realize our dream. As mentioned, &TEAM's concert trailer start line is the one that connects with Dropkick, as Dropkick is the start line of this new story. Some obvious connections we see is them wearing what could be their official Nightball uniforms for the Sunshine City team. We see them huddled together at their lockers preparing for the game, and we see a stadium. There are definitely quite a few things in the concert trailer that I do feel connects more to their lore and may even foreshadow the story to come, but we can save that for another video. Although I think I did go through some of that in my analysis of Starlight. Before we finish, as you know, I love finding and breaking down music videos to see if there's anything we can catch that might connect to their lore. And while there's not much, we're not leaving completely empty-handed. In Warcry, there are a few connections we see. For example, in the video, we see Joe have what we assume is an injured hand, and it's his same hand or arm that is injured in the webtoon. We also have a moment in the music video where we can see the boys separated into two groups, with OT4 at the front and the others in the back. Another connection we see is part of Under the Skin reflected in the music video when we see Haruha at the center and the others circled around him. There are also some really cool details sprinkled in throughout the music video, like the broken mirrors pointing at the boys as if it's targeting them, possibly referencing vampires through the mirror's connection to time. The glowing green eyes that hide in the background of the circular room, almost as if it's watching them, and the chandelier that hangs in the same building, reminding us of the chandelier that hangs in Hypen's Bite Me, though that could just be a strange coincidence as the mirror is actually part of the set. And last is this weird liquid that I believe signifies their transformation. While these music videos were much shorter and showcased a different narrative format than &TEAM's previous videos, the story that it tells is just as important and still worth sharing. So, what story did you see in the music videos? What do you hope to see in their future? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure there's a lot I missed, but I'll make sure to continue doing my best to understand and share the lore of &TEAM. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.